Viruzzi. Okay, we get a Sicilian. Classical structure there. Najdorf, going for the Najdorf Sicilian. Okay. I will. Oh, but he didn't play the move here. So he's playing the Najdorf Sicilian without playing knight f6. So I can push the c pawn. Does he not want to play knight f6, or he plays it now? Okay. Okay, let's avoid the trade. Let's see if he decides to fianchetto his bishop like a typical setup against the Maroczy. No, he goes for a more of a Scheveningen setup. I want to put the bishop here. He could stop that by putting his queen here. So that's why I was kind of hesitating there. I figured I would manage to get my bishop there eventually anyway, but he didn't even try to stop me, so that's nice. Yeah, he's not trying to put any pressure on my position at all, which is okay. Okay for me. Fine by me. Let's go ahead and castle. Now I'm set up for the traditional Maroczy hop here. Let's get a rook here first. Maybe this knight has to move. You want a rook here so there's a pin, and you put a knight here, and then when he takes, you take back and you win that knight. Typical Maroczy trick. But this knight is a bit in the way. I could drop the bishop back and put the knight here, where the bishop is. That would be a good way to evolve that knight. At some point, he could just push his d-pawn forward. Maybe he can do it now already. Be a good way to break up this structure I've got here. Yeah, so I don't know about the specific move orders here. There may be some move order you can play to prevent that kind of thing. But with this pawn here, pretty hard to stop him from pushing here. He goes there. So this is not adequately defended, so let's defend it. His position looks a bit cramped. Yeah, so he tries to bust it open like so. Well, yeah, I'm kind of one step behind. I can move this knight now to defend my knight. But then he can take the pawn, and also I'd have to move this knight to a less attractive square, this one here, rather than this one. So let's not do that. I can defend the knight with my queen. That would be reasonable. He takes. I could take back with a pawn. But then he can take the pawn. Yeah. Tempted to put the knight here to try and defend it, but he pushes that pawn forward with a fork. That's annoying. That's why, yeah, if this square were free. So my move order was just a little bit off here. Okay, so I think I'm going to try and take his knight. Can I do that? Well, not so easy, but I can kick it anyway. He can put it here. Or can he? Has to go back. Okay, well then this pawn is safe. Let's step back with the bishop so I can get the knight to this square. And then he kicks the knight that way. So that's interesting. It's like good timing for him. He kicks it just before I could realistically put it there. I can get this knight to here to here. Maybe it's not good. Maybe it's not good. Yeah, so he wins that pawn. It was just loose. He can take this bishop, or he can slip his knight in here. No, he can't do it. He can't put his knight here. So he should just take the bishop. Yeah, why not? Good. It's a free piece. I mean, it's a good piece, and he gets rid of it. And I'm weak on this diagonal. The knight's defending these squares at the moment, at least. So knight here, he takes, I take. I get a tempo, but that's about it. Now let's put the bishop here. Hit his rook in the corner. Just stepped up with the bishop. I'm looking at playing f5, although to be honest he could just push his pawn forward, so I don't know what f5 does really. Yeah, I don't know what that does. He was tired of not being able to get onto the dark squared diagonal, so he hopped onto the light squared diagonal. Or maybe he's just getting his queen away from this battery here. But since my queen was in front, he could always just, if this opened up, he could always take my queen. Just trade it out. Yeah, so he wanted to play this move without invoking any trades. Well, that's good. I get to loosen this one up at least. You can take here, I'll take with the knight. Or I can take here. He can take with the knight, huh? Left him with an isolated pawn at least. And I can penetrate with my queen. Oh, he took with the pawn. So his isolated pawn is here instead of here. It is one step forward. So let's go here. Ask that bishop what it wants to do. If I could get my queen over here, would be nice. So he drops back to defend. He's being cautious, properly so. Properly cautious. Well, let's go after the isolated pawn. Can I put my knight here? No, because he can take it with the bishop. That's too bad. I didn't want to lose that. Didn't want to lose that rook. Okay, now I've got 3 pieces on this. He can't defend with the bishop. He's only got 1 defender. So my plan is to take it with the knight. Let's see, he will double with the queen, I guess. So I should take with the rook instead, huh? I go here. If he takes my knight, then I will take his rook. So he will take my rook, and then I can take back with the knight, saving my knight, right? And yeah, he can move his queen to pin me. But I can move my queen to unpin. Well, let's step here. Can't pin me like that. Ooh, check there. That's nasty. And if I take the knight, he can come into the back rank. He should not have. He should just stop fooling around and take the knight. He's going for a perpetual. Yeah. Stop fooling around and take the knight. Okay. He gave me back the knight for a pawn, and I went on time. Yeah, he had to move faster there towards the end. That's funny. I've almost lost on time anyway. Well, he played a good game. Yeah, let's see if we can get another one here. Play a rapid game. EGP. Oh, 2088. Good rating. Is that PL at the end? So let's play an Alekhine's defense. Something interesting here. Something different. He accepts the challenge, pushes the pawn forward. That is the best move, of course. A lot of players have been avoiding pushing the pawn. Then I go into some kind of four knights defense. Try and undermine the center. Okay, I'll try and get 2 pawns in the center. Well, now's the time I should slow down. That's about as far as I know the opening. I know you have to be careful when you bring this knight out to make sure that this is not an effective move. Looks like I can do that now, though. And looks like he's setting up his typical Greek gift sacrifice. If you had a knight here and if I castled, play something like that. Defend here with a bishop, though. That's odd. Okay, so he's avoiding developing his knight because when he does, I'm going to pin it. Since he's playing like that, let's do a fianchetto. That will eliminate the idea of the Greek gift sacrifice. It'll put more pressure on this pawn. And support my knight if my knight hops to this square. Okay, I feel like that opening has been a success for me. Let's see how he can evolve his pieces. He might be thinking of castling queenside then, trading off this bishop. Okay, what if I just play e5? That's kind of the most natural move here. e5, he could push this pawn. My knight could drop back here. And we'd have an interesting unbalanced structure. e5 he takes. I could take with either the pawn or the knight. I think it looks good. And if he doesn't take, I've got 3 pieces attacking here. And he's only got 2 defenders. So he chooses to keep it closed. Okay, I'm going to get a rook on the c file and try and put pressure here. This also may discourage him from castling queenside. We'll see. Let's think about this. This is actually an opportunity for me to get rid of this bishop, which is a bit of a problem piece. It doesn't have any good squares to develop to. Putting it here. He could respond by putting a knight here instead of a bishop. Or he could take and I could take back with my knight. Yeah, I think I like that. More active post with the light squared bishop and I still get this rook here. This knight can go here to here. I can push these pawns forward to undermine. So he did end up castling on that side. I'm not in a hurry to take this bishop. It can't go anywhere. I am willing to allow the knight to come here. That's something he can play anyway. And yep, we put the bishop there instead. So now I'm going to well, if I do that, he might just take this pawn. How about if I go here first? My queen is defending the knight. Go there, then knight here to here, and then pawn here. Yeah, that was, I thought he had that in mind when he lined up his queen and his bishop. Get rid of my fianchettoed bishop. I will let him do that. Now, actually, this bishop could retreat here. I didn't pay attention to that. Okay, but he didn't want to do that, so let's trade. And now I need to protect this one. Yeah, I mean, I want to play f5, kicking that knight, but it can take here. Could I bring my queen out to defend there? Because I don't necessarily want to provoke another trade. I just want to kick his pieces back. But my queen here blocks the pawn, which is my source of counterplay, this pawn to b5. So he goes for that counterplay. So let's kick. He just moves the knight. That's interesting. So the knight is looking at this square, which my knight is defending. So let's go ahead and kick that now. Don't want to get in too comfortable. Settling in on my king side there, that would be a problem. My knight could be kicked away from that square, so let's take advantage of this position while we can. Okay, now we want to attack this pawn. Let's do it this way. I don't think he can defend it. The queen can't go to this square because of my knight. If he takes, I'll take back. If he trades queens, I'll take back with the rook. Brings a rook over, I will take. But at the end of the day, I get this pawn. So he didn't want to take right away. Maybe he wins this pawn. He can push here. Then I can push. Yeah, it's this situation here. So if I take, I lose my queen. But I can take with the rook. I don't have to take with the pawn. Then his queen takes. We get a queen trade. Looks like a whole lot of nothing. Ah, I can move my queen here with check and then take the pawn. You could move the king or block with the queen, but not the knight or the rook. Queen here would also block, but I think I get to take this pawn then. Yeah, he was relying on this pin, so I can unpin with check. I might get an advantage out of this. I have to have an answer. Well, after he moves and I take, his queen could come in here, which is hitting this knight, hitting this rook, hitting this rook, hitting the knight. But the queen's defending the rook's defending the knight. I just have to save this rook, so I guess it's okay. I guess that is okay. Oh, the knight's defending the rook. Everything is defended. I think I can take. I just can't put a piece here. I could push and push. That would be interesting. Yeah, so when the queen goes there, I was thinking I'll put my queen here. Let's think about that. So the queen goes there. What can he take? If he takes the rook, take with the queen. He takes the knight, I take with the rook. He takes the rook, I take, however, with the queen or the knight. So he can't take anything. Can't come in further. So he either has to trade or retreat. Let's see, what if he tries to bring his rook in? And I take the queen, the rook takes, and just step up with the king, I guess. Oh, there's this pawn here. Save this pawn. And then I step here with the king to unpin the knight. His knight is blocked out by my pawns. So he doesn't do that. He tries to double his rook. Okay, I can check again. I could go ahead and unpin first. I think it's okay to play this. When we're down to when the queens are off, we'll be down to 13 points of material, so should be okay for the king to join in the game. Should be really into the end game by that point. Yeah, he's forcing the issue. See, I go here, he takes, I take. I go here, he takes, I take. It's his move. He can attack it from behind. And if I defend from the side, then the other rook can come in attacking my knight. My knight can move. Then he can check here, but I can step here. I can check there. I can take that and attack his knight. I think I can play this. And this rook defends here now. So yeah, so he exchanges once to get his rook here. And my idea was to defend from the side. Yeah, one problem, which I hadn't realized till now, is that he can just push this pawn forward. How about I counterattack something? He can double his rooks on the second rank, which is maybe a disaster. I don't know. But I can run with my king. I can move my knight, I think. I think there's squares for my knight. Yeah. So let's go after the pawn. Now the knight. So he got a passed pawn, but I'm still one pawn up. And that passed pawn, maybe it's weak. That's interesting. So he just wants to trade rooks? Maybe he wanted to double rooks here, but I'm not giving him time for that because I can take his rook. If he attacks my knight, I can take and defend my knight. If he drops back like this, I can put my rook here. He can check my king, but I will step up here. Oh, he can check my king after I take. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, I blew that. I blew that. I blew that. Well, it's my own fault. Yeah, let's quit. So let's go see what that was like. Let's step back a couple of moves before I had my brainstorm. Let's turn this on. So I should be just better. -5. Look at that. I just winning. But just push here. But the move I actually played here, I'm just trying to grab that pawn. Oh, it says it's not such a bad deal. Why is that? I should play rook takes a6. Oh, no, it's his turn. He plays rook takes a6. I have to play knight takes a6. Yeah, that's how the game went. And then he goes rook to d6. Do I have a good move here? King f7. He takes the knight. I mean, he's a knight up. Wow, that is amazing that it says it's an even game when he's got an extra knight and I have just one pawn for the knight. I mean, it's a pretty poor knight at the moment, but it's an extra piece. And he has this passed pawn, which I can't get over here. to take that passed pawn, so that pawn is always going to be a thorn in my side. So yeah, I don't see how I could possibly draw this game. It seems like a clear loss. It's really funny that the chess engine thinks thinks that this position is even. Oh well, live and learn. Except yeah, I still don't understand, so I can't really say I'm learning. But anyway, interesting couple of games. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye now.